Alright, I will be presenting on brief psychotic disorder. My name is Dr. Matt Aida. That's Matt, last name Aita. My client's name is Mitzi Bartholomew. That's Mitzi, Mitzzy, Bartholomew, Bartholomew. And Mitzi is 52 years old. The differential diagnoses for Mitzi, we have two of them. It's going to be delusional disorder and brief psychotic disorder with marked stressor. We ended up ruling in brief psychotic disorder with marked stressor as it met all the criterion. Ruled out delusional disorder. The primary diagnostic features for brief psychotic disorder with marked stressors, we have two of them. A person with this disorder experiences delusions, hallucinations, disorganized speech, or grossly disturbed or catatonic behavior. One more time, that's a person with this disorder experiences delusions, hallucinations, disorganized speech, or grossly disturbed or catatonic behaviors. Second one, symptoms are presented for more than 1 month. Symptoms are presented for more than 1 month. So, Mitzi's story, so like stated earlier, Mitzi is 52 years old. She was born into a very wealthy family, had very wealthy parents that gave her pretty much, everything she wanted. She actually grew up to be a really caring person. Growing up, she always wanted and longed for a sister. So when she found her friend Christine in college, she felt that she finally had the sister that she'd always wished for. Recently, she's overseeing the construction of a new cultural center at the city, which is a pretty demanding event. It takes up a lot of her time. Mitzi is currently married to a high-powered attorney who owns a large corporate law firm. Because this firm requires that she throws at least one dinner party every week. This party's been a little crazy. A lot of things have gone wrong. She has to deal with a lot of people that are causing her quite a bit of stress. While she's throwing a party, she gets a phone call and finds out that her friend Christine was killed in a car accident. They're actually pretty gruesome. In fact, they report that she had been decapitated. Upon hearing this news, Mitzi collapsed and was rushed to the hospital. So she took it pretty harshly. When Mitzi attended the funeral, she was noted that she became increasingly tense and jittery. She'd been getting very little sleep, only about 2 to 3 hours a night. And her husband noticed that her cognitive ability had steadily gone downhill. She's been having difficulty concentrating and even speaking. When she would speak, she would trail off mid-sentence, never really finishing one thought. So a couple days after the funeral, they're walking down the street, and Mitzi points out a car frantically and says that it's her friend Christine driving the car. And because of this, she assumes and thinks that the whole funeral and Christine dying has been a plot against her. And it's a plot to kill her, and that she's actually in grave danger. Because of this, she gets really paranoid. She pleads with her husband to help save her. She refuses to pay any to allow cell phones around her, as she convinced they are bugged, and she begins to hear high-pitched sounds, which she fears is an ultrasound beam aimed at her. So yeah, Mitzi is admitted to a psychiatric ward after 3 days of treatment and shows to show significant improvement. So that's the story of Mitzi. So on to the multi-axial diagnosis. Axis 1, we have brief psychotic disorder with marked stressors. Axis 2, we have none. Axis 3, we have none. Axis 4, recent death of best friend due to traumatic accident. Recent death of best friend due to traumatic accident. And then there's also work stressors. We gave her, for Axis 5, we gave her a GAF of 46. So to finish up with the theoretical perspectives, there's two of them. The first one, we have the biological perspective. It's kind of long. This client's psychotic symptoms may be the result of an excess of dopamine. The client may also have a genetic predisposition for the development of this disorder. According to the DICE stress model, those with genetic predisposition may manifest symptoms if certain stressors trigger symptoms. Last but not least, we have the social cultural perspective. The client is overloaded with work obligations associated with her cultural and charitable pursuits. This overload, in combination with the death of her closest friend in a tragic and traumatic accident, triggered this client's genetic predisposition. So that's all for Mitzi. Have a good week.